Is the United States planning a major showdown right on its doorstep? Marco Rubio just sent an absolute shockwave straight to Cuba. With Cuba sitting just 90 miles from U.S. shores, Senator Rubio warned that the communist regime is heading toward a total, systemic meltdown. And this time, Washington isn't playing the waiting game. Rubio didn't hold back, calling Cuba a completely failed state. Here is why the pressure is maxed out. The system is broken. He stated that the current political model is totally broken and cannot fix the collapsing economy. The regional contrast: Cuba is completely surrounded by places like Florida, Jamaica, and the Bahamas, where people have basic rights to own businesses, work for themselves, and vote for their leaders. No more delays. Rubio warned the regime that they cannot wait out the U.S. or buy time. While President Trump prefers a negotiated deal, Rubio admitted that the likelihood of that actually happening with the current leaders is incredibly low. The big takeaway: the Trump administration is drawing a hard line on security right in its own backyard. By completely ruling out a compromise with the current regime, the U.S. is signaling that a massive political and economic shift in Havana is now completely unavoidable. With a systemic meltdown looming just 90 miles away, will the Cuban regime finally bend, or are we looking at the next major geopolitical explosion? What do you think happens next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and hit subscribe for more geopolitics updates.
They got to make a decision. Their system doesn't work, right? Their economic system does not work. It's broken. And you can't fix it with the current political system that's in place. They just don't comprehend how to do it. And it's a failed state. Like, their economy and the model they're trying to follow in Cuba doesn't resemble what anyone is doing anywhere in the world. I mean, there are other ways to do it that can provide the people of Cuba prosperity and opportunity. And it's what I said in the video to them the other day. You look at Cuba, in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, in the Dominican Republic, here in Florida. Cuba's surrounded by places where people have the right to do things like own a business, work for themselves, and be able to vote and for the leaders that govern them and or replace them. So if that's possible all around Cuba, why is it impossible? Why is that not possible inside of Cuba? And right now, there just doesn't seem to be people over there in charge of the regime who are in any way open to any of those changes. And the things they talk about economically are cosmetic in nature. They're not real. Because that's what they've gotten used to all these years. It's just buying time and waiting us out. They're not going to be able to wait us out or buy time. We're very serious. We're very focused. As I told you a moment ago, in the context of Iran, the president's preference is always a negotiated agreement that's peaceful. That's always our preference. That remains our preference with Cuba. I'm just being honest with you. You know, the likelihood of that happening, given who we're dealing with right now, is not high. But if they have a change of heart, you know, we're here. And in the meantime, we'll keep doing what we need to do.
It sounds a lot like nation building. The administration doesn't believe in using force for
No,
nation building.
it's not nation building. We are addressing something that's directly related to the national security of the United States. We are involved in places all over the world. You're asking me about Ebola. Important. But Ebola's in Africa. Cuba's 90 miles from our shores. So if you have a systemic meltdown in that country, which is where they're headed, their power plants, by the way, the reason why their power plants break down, they've been having blackouts for years. They had major blackouts last year, and they were still getting free Venezuelan oil. They haven't spent a penny in fixing their energy production, their electrical grid. They don't spend any money on that stuff. They pocket it. They have a private military company named Gaesa who's sitting on $18 billion of assets, and not a penny of that transfers over to the state budget.